hit okay there.
Perfect.
Are we up and running?
We are up and running, sir.
Fantastic. Well, let's get started. First and foremost, good morning, maybe for some, and good afternoon, maybe for others. Quick introductions. I am Tim Rowan with Figure and really focused on LO success. That's what it's all about. And we are coming to you from our newly dubbed Figure Sales Success Studio. And with me hosting today's webinar is the one and only Alex Nichols. Actually, Alexander. So Alex, thank you so much for putting this together. And
Absolutely.
I want to give a little bit of history here regarding Alex. One, you've been with the company how long now, Alex?
Geez, it's been about 4 years now I've been with Figure, specifically working with this HELOC, not just on these kind of sessions, but I've also been down there with borrowers, helping them out, getting them to funding and everything like that. So years of experience with this product, and I really love it. So I'm here to kind of present this with you. I'm very excited about this. This is going to be a good session.
Yeah, no. So Alex has been with the company for 4 years, which makes him like a lifer. And I've been with the company for 4 months. So anyway, anxious to do this new series, this new webinar series that we're getting started with. We really want to focus on highlighting tips and tricks, best practices, how to navigate different things, which we're going to start with some of that here in just a few minutes. But really create a platform for anyone attending the webinar that you can just log in every other week to the standing webinar invite and be sure to be prepared with your Q&A, right? Questions and answers, dive in and get answers from myself. Alex, and future webinars will have additional guests on as well, which is I'm really encouraged by. So now that we know a little bit about you, Alex, let me tell everybody a little bit about me. I, unlike Alex, of course, have only been here at Figure for 4 months. However, I've been in the lending industry for 25 years as loan originator, branch manager, general manager, sales manager, you name it. In the lending industry, it seems like I've done it at one level. So why is that important? Well, it's important because I am you. In other words, I understand the life of a loan officer. So why I'm so excited about having come over to Figure in the last several months is because over the years, technology has changed and adoption of the technology is very, very important. And so I want to take you kind of on a trip in time. When I first started this industry, I was literally meeting with clients at kitchen tables, hand completing disclosures. True story. I can remember doing good faith estimates with a pencil, sitting in at folks' kitchen table and then erasing things like, oh, sorry, I've got the impound account wrong. We'll erase it and fix it. Well, then technology started coming into play. Things like LP, DU, all the Fannie Freddie guidelines, automated underwriting platforms, loan origination systems. And I don't know how many of you on the call have actually remember these times, but every single time technology changed, it was like the sky is falling. Oh my gosh, the industry is over. They're not going to need loan officers anymore. However, none of that, in fact, turned out to be true. And the same is true with the Figure Technology Solutions platform. And here's what I mean by that. Each time technology has improved, what it's allowed us to do is quickly help more clients. Right? Alex, how many times have you heard me say that?
Every single time, and I believe it every time, because it is true. We are no longer in the age of pencils. We're in the age of quick help, and this is what we're here about.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I ask originators all the time when I do sales meetings. It's like, hey, just quick answer here. What is it you do for a living? And of course I get, well, I close mortgage loans and I help people buy real estate and I do that. That's all true. But what we really do, net, is we're really in the business of helping people. And if we can all agree on that, then what we need to solve for is how do we find ways to put ourselves in front of more people to help and quickly get them the answers. So here we are. Here I am at Figure along with Alex, the lifer here. And I love it. I love what it is we're doing because we're really trying to, well, for lack of a better term, be a disruptor as to what we've always known a loan looks and feels like. And so what we're going to do is we're going to dive in at a real high level and demonstrate the lead portal. What we want to demonstrate, I'm just going to kind of step everyone through this, is we want to play through, kind of role play, if you will, What happens when you speak to one of your past clients? Maybe one of your past clients calls you and says, hey, Tim, we were wondering if you might be able to help us get a line of credit. We need to pay off some debt or build an addition, whatever the use case might be. We want to quickly demonstrate how to use our Figure Technology lead portal platform to quickly get the answer. That sound good? What
That
do you think,
sounds
Alex?
very good. I like that idea a lot.
Okay, so here we go. Alex, I don't know if you want to share your screen now. By the way, as Alex is pulling this up, I'll also let everyone know that if you have questions, certainly be sure to put them in the deal as we wrap this up. We definitely want to take some time to answer your questions. Also know that at the end of this webinar, I will be sending out an email with the recording of the webinar and as well all of my contact information, which will also include a link where you can schedule some time with the Figure Sales Success Studio to dive further in, find out if maybe you're already approved to do business with this. If you're not, what would it take to get you approved to do business with this? How you use the lead portal, so on and so forth. I won't bore you with all that. So, Alex, you just called me and you said, Tim, I hope I was thinking about doing a HELOC. Is that something that you can help me with? Now, right out of the gate, I'm going to tell you that most of us as loan originators go, oh, here we go. 45, 60 days, $50,000 loan amount, very little, if any, comp. I think I'll just refer it out, right? I know I don't see a show of hands here, but that is the feedback we get all the time from the field. So this is what we have solved for. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and log in to my lead portal real quick. And again, we'll send you some information on this. So, and as we go through this, I'm going to show you how fast it is to get offers. And then we're going to go back into it and slow it down just a little bit and also deal with any questions and stuff you have. Okay, so I'm on the phone with Alex. He is my proposed client. And he's asked the question about a HELOC. I've logged into the lead portal. I'm simply going to go up and click Initiate HELOC App. This is just an inquiry, by the way. And Alex, what's your address?
Oh, my address is going to be 774 Homeward Place, San Jose, California.
Fantastic. And is this your primary residence, Alex?
It absolutely is. I live here for life.
And you don't by any chance currently have the home listed for sale, do you?
Not at all. No plans for it.
Okay. And how about your first name? I know we're saying Alex, but is it by chance Alexander?
It is actually Alexander on my driver's license.
Your last name is Test H. I love that.
Old
And
family name.
how about your date of birth, Alex?
My date of birth is going to be January 9th, 1992. I am a Capricorn.
And your phone number?
It is going to be all twos.
And how about your email, Alex?
My email's easy. It's going to be my first initial last name and a few numbers there.
Now, how about your annual income? I know, what type of work do you do, Alex?
I'm full-time actually as a trainer. It's very nice.
Okay, so you may or may not know, but roughly, like, what was the total number on your W-2 from last year? Do you have an idea of what your annual income might have been?
Yeah, I was roughly about around 200,000 last I checked.
Okay, we'll put 200 in there. And you said you're a wage earner. You don't have any other investment properties, anything of that nature, Alex?
No, not at this time. Just my job.
Perfect. And your employment, you said you had a full-time job. Perfect.
That is correct.
Now, listen, Alex, we're just about done here. All I need to do is do a soft pull on your credit report. This won't have any effect as far as inquiries or anything of that nature on your score, but this will actually help us quickly populate. Are you okay with that?
I am absolutely okay with that.
Fantastic. Hit continue. Now, let me just take one more look. Oh, you went, that's fine. I just reviewed that data. It looked good. Hang on just a second, Alex. We'll find out here in just, oh, I don't know, about 30 seconds. Oh, you know what, Alex? It shows a couple different mortgage loans. Which one? I've got two that are popping up for you, mortgage liens. I've got one that was done back in 21 for 665,000 and one that was in 2018 for 150,000. Which of those belong to your primary residence?
The only one's going to be the one from 2021. The one from
Okay.
18 is for a different property.
Perfect. And that is for the Homeward Place, San Jose, right?
That is correct.
Perfect. Okay, Alex, great news. It looks like we can get you a line of credit all the way up to roughly $283,000. Pretty cool, right?
I like that very much. It's going to be pretty good for my kitchen remodel.
That's not bad. So, do you have a feel for how much money you were actually thinking of getting?
Um, roughly, I think the contractor said around 80,000, but I want to be safe and go upwards of 100,000.
Okay, I'll make an adjustment on this.
It's going to be a nice kitchen.
Fantastic. So I have a couple of options. And by the way, Alex, I'm going to be sending you an email here shortly as we wrap this up. And you also will be able to navigate on your end as you complete the application to be able to modify your offer one way or the other. But, based on what we've been talking about, I think a 30-year term with a payment for that 100,000, right about 866 a month. What do you think? Does that sound like it meets up for what you're looking to do?
I think that sounds good. Do I have the option to pay that off early if I want to? 30 years seems like a long time.
You do. Actually, there is no prepayment penalty. You can absolutely pay it off early. And the nice thing about this is, remember, this is a fixed product. So it, unlike most home equity lines of credit that are variable, this is not. It is fixed and it is fully amortizing. So that payment is including principal and interest. And a lot of times, home equity lines of credit are only interest only. So you're really never paying down the balance. So in this case, it's a win-win on both cases, principal and interest, fixed rate, and you get to, if we go with this 30-year term, you'll actually get to redraw the money back and forth for the next 5 years. So this is just a starting point. We know that all the numbers line up for you here. I'm just going to take one last look. Okay, we've got 100,000. We're going to add the small amount of fees to the line of credit. So now your total line of credit will be 103,140. And I'm just going to hit continue here. Does that sound good so far, Alex?
That sounds good to me.
Okay,
complain
I've
about
got to
that.
take care of a few disclosures on my end here. We'll just go ahead and check these boxes. There's nothing for me to upload. I'll type my name in here and hit proceed. Okay, Alex, what's going to happen, what just happened right now is you were just sent an email. It'll have both my name on it and yours as the client, inviting you to complete the application, and it'll walk you right through the process. The income will be verified with numerous different sources, but really the best source is going to be to link your personal checking accounts. If you have any problem with that at all, Alex, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm really excited. And by the way, we'll get this closed very, very quickly as you move through the system. So again, don't hesitate to reach out with any questions at all. Sound good?
That sounds fantastic to me.
Awesome, Alex, thank you. And there you have it. I did not have a clock set on that. However, it was only a few minutes. I'm certain of it. That is what it looks like as a loan originator walking through this with a client. Now, having said that, what if, just what if, I went in and entered in my borrower, Alex, in this case, information, and I did not have any offers? That's possible. This isn't a fit for every single borrower or homeowner on the planet. But here's the magic. It only took you, the loan originator, a couple of minutes to come to that conclusion versus reaching out to account executives, obtaining rate sheets, estimating fees, putting together, a loan estimate in your own loan software platform. This quickly let you know, yay or nay, right? So is it possible you don't get offers on clients? Absolutely. And we can dive into that on future webinars as well, what some of the different decline reasons are and that stuff. But you figured it out like that. That's the magic for us as loan originators. So, Alex, thank you for playing along with me there.
Absolutely. I love that very much. So what I'd like to do at this point, Tim, is let's kind of do a deep dive into what we just did there. Let's talk about some specifics. I really want to talk about how to be successful with the inquiry tool. It's really quick and easy. And like Tim said, if there's no offers available, it'll let you know why. But I want to talk about just some key things, some tools that you're going to have, as well as talk about some specific fields so that right away, you're going to have that quick and easy call with your borrower and kind of get in there. So first and foremost, what we can see here is we went through and we filled out that inquiry. Very quick, very easy. And what that's going to do is that's going to automatically send an email over to your borrower to begin the application. They're going to have to go through a really quick application process, do notary, and they're done. But from this point, you're moving on to the next person to help, because it is an automated system. So you're going to be able to track everything that's happening with this inquiry. Once it goes to an application, this will update in real time to an application. So you'll be able to track everything within there. The big thing I want to talk about, though, is the fact that for the inquiries themselves, the nice thing about it is they're kind of just a tool there for you to use to start things out. So if anything's incorrect on an inquiry, you do have the ability to say cancel it and start a new one. So no harm, no foul if we kind of go through and go, oh, actually, maybe I do make a little bit more income. That's fine. You can just go ahead and cancel, make a new inquiry, as well as the fact that inquiries can be paused and resumed. So for example, if you didn't have someone like me on the phone, you just have the borrower's permission for a soft credit pull, you can just go ahead, fill out that first page of information, go through the motions to see if they have pre-qualified offers or not. Then you can just go ahead and leave the inquiry. You can resume it later. So I can call up my borrower, done this before, to say, hey, great news. You have pre-qualified offers. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So it is just, again, a tool for you to use. You will have to complete it for them to begin the process. One other really big tip I like to bring up here is the fact that you do have the function to resend that automated email, but I really like sending a personalized email to my borrower. This will allow you, if you click copy borrower link, to copy the link that your borrower uses to start an application. You can make your own email. You can have your own wording, your own signature, your own pizzazz, anything you'd like in there. And you can just simply say, hey, I'm going to send you a link. Look out for an email under my name, just like Tim said. Boom, just click on that link to get started. But in any way that you do want to work, again, Lead Portal will track everything for you.
By the way, Alex, on that, I really appreciate you pointing that out. And for everyone watching this morning, I really want to drive that point home. You know, so many of the clients that you're doing lines of credit for are in fact your past clients and your relationships. And sometimes your clients will be faster to react to an email from you versus the email from Figure, even though it references you. So just a little side note, Alex, thank you for pointing that out.
Absolutely. Because, of course, the automated email will have your name on there. It'll be personalized for your organization. All your information will be there. But I like the little personalization myself with a custom email. So let's take a look at an inquiry and let's kind of do a deep dive into each of the fields. I want to give some hints here and some tips for us to talk about. So let's go ahead. Let's do another inquiry together. And let's just take it a slower step at a time here. So first and foremost, we can see there, right? Tim just asked me, hey, what's your address? So the first thing you're going to need is that property address for financing. I highly suggest you use the drop-down tool. This is not just to make your life easy. It's not just to autofill these information. We do use an AVM. So this is something that helps that system find that property easily. Of course, if it's not in the drop-down, you can still type it in. It'll let you know if offers are available. But this is something where you want to use the drop-down where available. One other really big thing here, I get a lot of these questions where people say, hey, Alex, I don't really like AVMs. You know, my borrower's in a more rural location with their property. A lot of the times AVMs don't work. That's okay. We do have BPO options if an AVM is unavailable. So just know we're going to work with as many borrowers as possible. So do the inquiry, see what's available. It's just self-credit. It's no harm, no foul. You'll go through, fill out the rest of the information. We will do secondary investment type properties. That's a really strong thing with this product I've seen from the past, my borrowers. If someone has an equity in the property, they should be tapping into that. Equity is really high right now. And a lot of the times borrowers, they don't think about that when, especially when they have like investment or secondary properties. A lot of times they don't think about HELOCs when it comes to things that they may want to do, like a major purchase or, a remodel or something like that. Or maybe just a HELOC in their mind is a long, cumbersome process, and we're going to make it easier. So just know here for secondary investment properties, there's a little bit less when it comes to the underwriting. There's a bit more restriction there. So you'll see exactly what they pre-qualify for once you fill out this first page. One other thing is that we absolutely will do HELOCs on properties listed for sale. This is a great alternative to say like a bridge loan product. This is something that is fairly new with us and something I'm very proud of myself. This is absolutely an option. Just know there can be some lower economics on properties where homes are listed for sale, and there's some slight differences in the underwriting, such as a cap of CLTV at 80%. Won't bore you with the details, but the big thing here, if someone says, hey, my property is listed for sale, we are good to go. As long as they're not in Texas, we are good to go there. And then one other thing I do want to mention, going through with the information is Tim was very good to ask me, hey, what is your legal name? We do an identity verification during the application. So for example, my name is Alexander on my driver's license, not Alex. If you enter a nickname or say a short name of someone's actual name, when we get to the identity verification, that will fail and will require a completely brand new application. So we don't want to cause any undue heartache unnecessarily on the borrower. Again, these applications are quick. They're only about 5 or 10 minutes. It's very fast to redo one, but we don't want to have them do redo one. So make sure you go in, you put in the legal name, you ask that specific question. If I can find my keyboard, there we go. We'll type it in and we're good to go.
Yeah, by the way, Alex, on that topic, I think the best practices there is, if at all possible, to view how the name is on a driver's license. Would you agree with that?
That is correct, because they're going to upload a photo of their driver's license, passport, state ID, or resident card. So whatever one they want to use for verification, I usually would let my borrowers know, hey, make sure you have a photo of that. Or if they have, say, like a mobile device, they can just take a photo of that during the application. Really easy. But I would always say, hey, what does it say on there? We're going to go by that ID. Now, one other thing I do want to mention, in fact, on this page while I'm at it, for total annual income, a couple things. First, it is annual. Just know that. I know
Very
loan originators, you love monthly. Would you say that's true, Tim?
Absolutely true. I see it all the time. People calling, hey, I didn't get any offers. It doesn't make sense. And I look into it, and it's because they put in monthly. They're just going too fast, right? Love's fast. Speed is key, but make sure you notice it's annual income.
That's correct. It's going to be annual, and we're going to give the benefit to the borrower. So it's going to be gross income, including bonus. So always give them that gross income amount, talk to them about it. There will be a step to verify income later in the application. From here, you're just stating it. And one other really nice thing is that they can include their spouse's income in community property or homestead states. So during that prospecting, right, take a look at the state. There's great documentation for this, but realistically, at the end of the day, make sure they can include their spouse's income. And if they can, we make it pretty easy to verify the income as well. So if they're including their spousal income, you just do a combined total here. And then later during the application, again, they can just go ahead and verify that via a whole bunch of different methods we have.
You know, Alex, on that topic, and I'm so glad you brought that up. It is really important to note, and I don't think we've said this yet, that is, in our platform, there's only ever one borrower. So
That's correct.
you can use that household income in the scenario the way Alex laid it out, but just think of it, there's only one borrower. And if there is an additional signatory, I'll say, well, then that person will still sign some of the documents at the end, right? Because it's community property, state, joint ownership, whatever the case is. But as far as the loan file itself goes, again, there's only ever one borrower.
If you have a situation where maybe you have two spouses on title, you can also see what they both will get for pre-qualified offers, because it's just a soft credit pull. I've done that in the past. Just know there's always going to be that one primary, like Tim said. They're the only ones who are going to have their credit pulled, and they're the ones still responsible for the repayment of the loan. So it is entirely up to them who is going to be that primary, but it is a possibility to say, hey, if you're both on title, let's take a look at offers. Let's talk about who's best in this situation. And then, like Tim said, anyone else added on is just there for the notary signing, won't have their credit pulled, or we won't really look at any other information. But this is a very good option for people to include spousal income for things like joint accounts. And last thing I'll say, this is from more of Alex's personal tips and tricks, is I really like to focus on the fact that it's soft credit for this inquiry. This is something where I've had a lot of borrowers, they've done these kind of stuff where they get their hard credit pulled. I've had it happen to myself when I was trying to get a mortgage. It's not very fun to have your hard credit pulled, and it turns out it's not a no-go. So this is something where you want to, I basically just start out to say, hey, let's take a look what you pre-qualify for. It is just a soft credit pull right away. And a lot of times I'll just get their permission to do a soft credit pull before I even fill out the rest of the information to kind of get them, built up on it to say, hey, this is just soft credit. Let's take a look. Let me get your information here, and we'll see very quickly if this HELOC works for you.
Yeah, it's a no harm, no foul scenario, right, Alex? I mean, I think that's really the messaging there.
That is correct. We won't pull hard credit till near the end of the application. And I did skip over this pretty quickly just to show you the ease of the inquiry, but just know this information cannot be changed later. This is something that you want to make sure it is all accurate before confirming. So make sure there's no typos, make sure, again, they have their legal name in there, all that good stuff, because once you hit confirm, it's going to run through that automated underwriter as well as AVM for all this information.
And by the way, Alex, I want to stop there for just a second. And even for my own knowledge, I oftentimes speak to a loan originator and I might get an email from one that says, hey, I need to go in and change the email for a borrower. The problem is if you get past this screen, if you confirm this, there is no changing this data, to your point, correct?
That is correct.
So then what you're doing is canceling the inquiry, canceling the app, depending on the stage it's in, and then having to redo this. So honestly, take this screen very, very seriously, especially when it comes to birth dates, emails, proper name, right? Those are all things that could end up driving a new inquiry if it's not accurate. So
Absolutely fair point. It's a really quick, easy application, but we need to make sure everything's accurate for those automated systems. Now, one other thing I do want to mention, and if you've had my training in the past, you may have already heard this before, but one thing I always show for training purposes is this screen, and Tim did a fantastic job going over that discussion. It is just a mortgage verification page. You may never see it. You may see it occasionally, depends on the property. So just select whatever is accurate and true and have a very good conversation just like Tim did.
by the way, also on that topic, Alex, thank you for pointing that out. You're right. This screen will not always pop up for every single inquiry, but if it pops up, it's because the system is not identifying which lien belongs to what. And I think where we most commonly see this is in situations where borrowers have multiple properties, multiple loans, whatever the case is. So if you see it, make sure you address it, deal with it, but it doesn't always pop up.
Now let's talk about this wonderful offer screen. So again, going back to Tim's original point, if no offers are available, it'll let you know why. We really value transparency here at Figure, so it will let you know, but in most cases, it's going to say, hey, congratulations, these are your pre-qualified offers for your borrower. Just like Tim was saying during our conversation previously, I'm going to get my own, or I should say the borrower is going to get their own offer selection screen. So whatever you select here is not going to bind that borrower to those terms. It's just a conversation driver. It's just for you to be in that driver's seat, to have a conversation, to see if the HELOC's right for them. So this is something where you can absolutely play around with this. It's all going to update in real time. You can see I drop down the amount. I'm going to get more terms, vice versa. We'll be able to play with this. So I can go ahead, select whatever that amount it is. This is a full disbursement product, so they're going to get this amount right up front, typically within 5 business days. So it's very nice and easy. You'll then select the origination fee. And this origination fee very specifically is going to be a borrower paid fee to Figure. So this is something where the higher the origination fee, the lower the fixed rate's going to be on the initial disbursement. So you can literally just play around with it. We can see how those rates will update in real time. So a lot of times I'd be on the phone with the borrower, I'd be talking to them about their offers. I can play around with this, but say, hey, what are you looking for? What kind of rate are you looking for compared to, say, something like a monthly payment? So whatever is best in their financial situation, you'll be able to see this, but again, they'll be able to customize and select their own offer. So there's times where you can just simply quickly go through this to be able to send them over an email to begin.
Alex, I love that you pointed that out, and I just want to additionally drive the point home a little bit further regarding the origination fee. So whether you're working with us in our wholesale channel, our retail channel, whatever the case might be, it's important to not confuse that origination with how most of us as loan originators think of origination. We think of that as a borrower paid compensation scenario. In our world, everything is lender paid. That is the compensation being paid back to Figure. And the difference between the 199 or 299 is simply that of rate. So again, treat it almost like a buy down scenario. And there are some models that even have and allow higher origination fees. So if you have questions on that and whatnot, certainly follow up after the webinar and I can walk you through the different models. We're trying to do this at a very high level, of course, but that's really the magic of it, is not borrower paid compensation. It is lender paid compensation to you, the loan originator.
And now we're going to go through and we'll complete our inquiry. we'll go through, just make sure you certified and done the following. And in our example, again, this is going to be your name. I'm sharing my screen, so I had to put in mine for that inquiry to be complete. But if Tim was the one who was leading that, he would put in your name, just like you'll put in yours. All righty. Perfect, perfect. Anything
And
you
there we
want to add
go.
on, Tim?
Yeah, Alex, if you can. So again, what just happened is Alex did a little bit deeper dive into than my example to kind of review some best practices. So now that you've gotten to that third screen and you've hit proceed, remember, preface this with the borrower that they've just received an email from Figure referencing you and them, with inviting them to complete the application. Now, you, the loan originator, when you go back in, you saw that the screen ended up right back in your pipeline. Alex, if you can go ahead and just hit refresh, on your screen, so that we go from the incomplete to the borrower notified. I think it.
Absolutely. Hold on one moment. I absolutely can.
I just want to demonstrate that because it'll happen live, real time.
It's a test
See,
site. It's a bit fun. There we go.
yeah, so it just went from incomplete to borrower notified. And if you see that borrower notified, then you know the email went, right? So that is you, for you, the loan originator, that is your best indicator. Okay, it went through. If you still see it as incomplete, nothing has been sent to your borrower. Figure does not send any emails out to your borrowers other than what you've triggered at point of this initial inquiry, right? And then they begin the application process. Also throughout the process, and we're continuing to enhance this, which we'll talk about, of course, Alex, in future webinars, is you, the loan originator, will also receive emails regarding different status changes. I'm pretty excited about that, and we're getting ready to expand that even more in the future. So pretty good stuff.
All
Alex,
righty.
I think for this one, our first webinar, again, reminder everybody, this is going to go bi-monthly, so 2 times a month. Our next one, I believe, is already scheduled for the 17th, I
That is
believe.
correct.
And so I want to highlight a couple things. One, every webinar will have a slightly different topic. As an example, the next one, Alex, I think we're gonna kick the tires on this, but I believe talking with you yesterday, we decided we will most likely dive into the income aspect of this and kind of the best practices and understanding those conversations to have with clients. So that'll be a great one. So make sure to just plan on attending these every other week. Also, as a reminder, as we finish this up, we will send a version of this recording to everybody that was registered for the event, as well as, Alex, I think you had a couple of documents that we also want to share, right?
That is correct. So we're going to go over kind of some brief information, really how to be successful with this product when you're prospecting. I'm also going to be sending over documentation on how it works, so you can get a good idea of not just how it's going to work on your side, but you're also going to see details of that borrower flow and just how quick and easy that 5 to 10 minute application is.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Alex, do you want to share any of those documents at all? Or we just,
Absolutely. Let me go ahead. I am going to go ahead and share my screen here. Just some brief things I want to talk about on how to be successful with this product. So this is the new way to do a HELOC. This is the new and exciting way. So it may be a bit different than something you've seen in the past. So I want to talk about more or less two-step process to be successful. First and foremost, easiest way would be to go through and really just kind of do some prospecting on this particular product. So with that in mind, keep in mind, it is an automated system. From start to finish, this is a fully automated HELOC. That's how we make it so quick and easy. This is a product specifically designed for people that are comfortable with this kind of technology. Now, that's not to say they will not get full support. We have full client support every day of the week, both in phone and chat functionality. They're also going to see your email address and your information if you do one of those inquiries. But that is absolutely something where just letting your borrower know, hey, you're going to go through an online application. Income verification is also going to go through, say, like an automated flow. So this product is really good for borrowers who are comfortable with that, who have income in a less, I would say, complex way, say W-2s, or have online accounts they can link, or maybe say an online tax account, maybe through the IRS, where they can go ahead and link that up. So just keep in mind when you're prospecting this, when you're talking to their borrowers, really set the expectation of what they're going to go through. Again, I'm going to send out great documentation so that you can see it, but just know, hey, you're going to go through a couple step online application. Income verification is going to be done fully automated. You're not going to have to send in documentation. That's the great thing about it. All your borrower has to do is go through this quick flow. So I usually let them know, hey, have a photo of your ID ready, or just have the ID ready if you're doing it on a mobile device. And two, have your checking account username and password ready so that they can link that up both for income verification and for their disbursement account. There's other options, but those are the quickest and easiest ways to really prep your borrower to go through this quick flow. Big things to keep in mind. Two big things. Number one, this is not designed to be a rainy day fund or a just in case HELOC. This is for goal oriented borrowers. And again, it is a full disbursement product. So they're going to get that full amount right up front. They're going to get that disbursement and they can use the funds however they like with the option for redraw. So this is for borrowers who are calling in, who are saying, hey, I need money for blank. I need money for this. I need money for this. This isn't just for someone saying, hey, I just want a HELOC just in case, 5 years down the road, something happens, I need money quickly. This is a really quick way to fund. It is great for people that need money quickly, but it is a full disbursement. The other really big thing to keep in mind is that we do not have underwriters with this product. So you will not be sending in documentation to me. That's a really nice thing with this product. But keep in mind, you couldn't go and say like talk to an underwriter because there isn't one. It's a fully automated system. There isn't a lot of complexity to it. And realistically, it's about 6 or 7 pages the borrower has to go through. It is super quick, done completely online through these automated systems. So this is what I like to say, the best first place to go for a financial solution for your borrowers. You can see, just like we demoed with that inquiry tool, you can see immediately if the HELOC works or if it doesn't. And I am not promising this is going to work for every person in the entire United States, but what I am promising is that this is going to be the fastest way for you to know, hey, does a HELOC work? Does it not work? So you'll be able to see what options are available, and then you can go from there. And if no offers are available, that's fine. I'm sure you have other tools in your tool belt, but it really only takes about a minute or two to see what pre-qualified offers are available for your borrower.
Yeah,
Now,
I
oh,
love
go
that.
ahead,
Go ahead,
Tim.
Alex. I'm sorry. Well, I was going to add, I don't know if you were going to show another document or not, but I was just going to add that that really is the answer, like quickly getting the answer. And that's the pitch, if you will. That's how we manage the time in our day and help more people, is by able to quickly get the resolve.
That is absolutely true. So do the prospecting, know your borrowers, have those conversations, make those connections, and then just know generally what the product is. Make sure to set those expectations. Again, really good for individuals. They're going to get the money quickly, typically within 5 business days. This is something that is absolutely borrower driven, so it just depends on how quickly they go through that application. But it's a really, really easy HELOC. They're going to get money super fast. And the biggest selling point from my experience, the thing I brought up to every single borrower, whether they asked it or not, was the fact that there's no out-of-pocket closing costs at all. This is something where we saw, hey, there was an origination fee. Keen eyes may have also seen a manual notary fee of about $150 when we went through that inquiry, but they don't have to take out a debit card. They don't have to pay that up front or anything like that. They're going to get money extremely quickly, going through a really quick application. They're done. They do notary. Boom, they're going to get money in a couple days. So it's something to set the expectation of what this product is with your borrowers, but trust me, they're going to really love it going through it. It's as easy as any application can physically be. They're going to get a lot of money quickly. They'll just have the monthly payments, and then they'll be able to go ahead and redraw if they'd like to down the road. So really think about it too, talk to your borrower, see their situations. Also, as a part of the prospecting too, just see what kind of time it is. I do a lot of sales training, and that's something I really think about. August comes up and solar panels are a big thing. Or maybe, it's coming up time for college and, someone wants to get money out for their college student or maybe themselves. This is something to keep in mind going on during the time. This is stuff we'll also do later webinars about really how to go ahead and market, how to advertise on social media, do flyers, but just really know this product, know your borrowers, have that discussion.
Alex, I'll just share with everybody that our marketing team recently did some surveying, and it's really interesting the use cases that we're seeing. In fact, number one right now, I believe, is home improvement. And I'll just share with everybody, why would that be the case? Why would someone maybe come to you to use this product for home improvement? Well, certainly they need the money. Okay, check. We can solve for that. But what's interesting is I went myself, I happened to be in the middle of doing a renovation on a home. And I went down to one of the big department stores and looking into buying some doors and that type of thing. And I was absolutely stunned at what the financing they offer is, meaning it was like 26 or 27%, right? For ordering a bunch of doors. I was like, wait, what? So what I want to encourage everybody to understand is, yes, home equity lines of credit rates are higher than first mortgage, but let's also acknowledge that a majority of homeowners have anywhere between a 2.5% and a 3.5% interest rate. And if we take into consideration loan level price adjustments through Fannie and Freddie, right, in the traditional loan world, well, then we know that cash out rates come way up. So what I want to encourage everybody to do, or really get in the habit of doing, is look at this from a blended rate perspective. So I have a 10% HELOC, a 3% current first mortgage. I get 100,000 here. I have 400 to owed on my current first. The blended rate comes out around 6.25%, right? Now I'm just throwing a number out there. Some of you may test me on that, but if you have a blended rate calculator, I want to encourage you to use it. If you use tools such as Mortgage Coach, I want to encourage you to use it. Use it as a scenario. Listen, I am even beyond figure. I am a strategy loan originator. What is the best strategy to accomplish what it is the borrower needs to accomplish? I am not a rate guy. Now, I've said that. And Alex, people are probably going to start throwing things at the screen now because what they heard me say is rate's not important. That's not what I said. Rate is important, but I've never, ever believed someone wakes up and says, I need to consolidate all my debt, but I'll only do it if I can get a 3% rate. No. The key there is they need to consolidate their debt. That's the pain. We want to help solve it. So again, the takeaway here, I really want to be, this is a loan originator's fastest path to seeing what, if any, options exist within the Figure platform. So Alex, I don't know, do we have any questions? Do we have any Q&A going on here?
Let's take a look. If any of you have any questions, feel free to pose those in the Q&A chat. Looks like they have been all answered at this time, but if you have any questions, feel free to pose it in there, either about what we discussed or anything revolving around the HELOC, and we're happy to answer it.
Just let me know if anything pops up. I think I would see it on my end as well, but.
That is correct.
Who else do we have on the call? Is our friend Taylor on the call by chance?
Oh, he could be. No, not at this time.
I was going to say, if he is, let's have him ask a question and make sure it's working.
I'm sure it is.
Let's see here. Oh, very cool.
There we go. Tim, we do have a question in chat from Helena. Ooh. What is the minimum credit score required?
Okay. Helena, thank you for asking the question. We will go down to 620 in credit score, and non-owner, Alex, check me on this. Is it 680?
That is correct.
Yes. Look at that. I got the answer right. So 620 primary, 680 non-owner. There are some CLTV caps on the grid as well, depending on FICO, right? Typical minimum loan amount. Another great question. 25,000 is the minimum loan amount.
Now, one thing I would also like to add on about the credit score requirements, so we'll go to a minimum of 620 for primary residences. Just know a variety of factors come into play when it comes to the actual pre-qualified offers themselves. We are going to pull soft and hard credit through experience specifically and through the FICO 9 model specifically. So this is something to keep in mind, that obviously the better someone's credit is, kind of the better offers they're going to get. But again, really know someone's financial situation. It never hurts to do an inquiry because it is soft credit. But typically I would just kind of have that conversation, see what their situation is, and then just know that is where we're specifically going to pull the Experian FICO 9 when we do those pulls.
That's awesome. And again, what's great from a loan originator perspective, you'll see that right out of the gate, right when doing the inquiry, right? And so again, the answer there is you'll know quickly what the best path forward is. And not that this happens a lot per se, but I do want to drive the point home that, again, you may not get offers within the platform. Okay, but it only took you a few minutes to figure that out. No pun intended. Uh, versus, right? Helena is full of questions today, and we love it. How long does my client have to own the property to be on the deed? That's a great question. The answer is 90 days. So let's play this out a little bit. You have a client that bought a home last month. Can they do a HELOC today? Alex, the answer is
No. And again,
no.
it will be 90 days from any title change, Tim, there specifically.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to as well, Alex. So it's a 90-day seasoning, not just from the time that it's ownership, but it's literally title history. And so listen, we see a lot of things people try and do, through the platform, and they'll say, well, I added so and so on title. Okay, great. Now you're going to have to wait 90 days for that person to be the borrower. So
I've had a lot of these situations in my past, Tim, where someone would say, like, do a purchase mortgage, to buy a house, whatever it may be, and they want to do, say, like a remodel of some sort. They're very excited about it, and it comes up, hey, it's a bit under 90 days. Keep in mind, this is something that I really like to stress with those type of individuals. It is so fast to get funded with this product, typically 5 business days. So a lot of the times what will happen is I will just tell my borrowers, just wait the 90 days, apply, and we'll be able to kind of get you through it. It definitely is something where, this is really beats, I would say, a more complex traditional process. Doesn't take 3 weeks, doesn't take 3 months. So if someone is at a point where they are like, hey, I recently changed my title, I would tell them, you know what, if you go somewhere else, it's probably going to take a long time. Just wait a little bit. We'll get you in right away as soon as that window hits. And then boom, you do an inquiry, get them to an application, and then they
down
can
the
finish
path
that
you
up
go.
same day.
Yeah, by the way,
Exactly.
Alex, I just want to add on. I think it's important. Listen, let me be full disclosure here. Loan originators like myself, uh, all of us good ones are also control freaks. We got to know everything, right? And you and I deal with calls like that all the time. So I want to add the why behind this. Why the 90-day seasoning? Again, folks, this is a completely automated system, and the 90 days ensures that the automatic lien search is going to take place, the name matches are going to take place, the title ownership is going to take place. That's the why behind the 90-day ownership, if that makes sense.
Does to me. One other thing I do want to add on there is the fact that someone can absolutely go through, say, get multiple HELOCs, say multiple properties. For primaries, we can go up to third lien position, which is very nice. Just know there needs to be 45 days in between when the actual lien got recorded and that loan is fully complete to when they can reapply. But this is absolutely something where I've had plenty of borrowers in the past where they've loved how quick and easy it is. They've done it same day, especially if it's e-notary. They do it in like 15 minutes, get it done, and they turn around and go, oh, that was so easy. I have this other property. Can we go ahead and just do another HELOC on there? Absolutely. We're just going to have to give it a little bit of time. Again, these are automated systems. So we're going to need to wait that period, and then boom, they apply, get even another HELOC, even more happy. So
There you
just know a
go.
little bit, but again, this is such an easy application process.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. You can go ahead, I think, and stop the screen share if you want, Alex. I think we've gotten all the questions we're going to get. And thank you, Helena, for asking the questions that you did, keeping us sharp today. I want to share one more story, if that's okay, Alex. And that is, I deal with loan originators every day, all day long, right? And do everything we can to help. Remember, the mantra, if you will, is sales success. How do we succeed especially in a challenging market and scenarios like what all of us as loan originators are faced with today? So I want to share with you all that I spoke to a loan originator 3 weeks ago. And when he called, this is literally the comment he made. He said, listen, I normally just refer my HELOCs out. I don't have time for them. I don't want to deal with it. It's just too much of a nightmare. So I just refer them out. And of course, as a result, he's just doing it as a service for his clients. There's no compensation to him in that scenario. But he said, but I'm interested in learning more, and I think I want to give it a shot. I'm happy to report that that loan originator has since closed 3 HELOCs with Figure. By the way, that's 3 weeks ago, 3 HELOCs with Figure closed. So once we can solve for the pain of the loan originator regarding what it takes typically to do a HELOC and the time involved, then it allows you to put yourself in front of what? More people to help, right, Alex?
Exactly.
That's exactly right. And so I want to encourage everyone, embrace the technology, embrace that it looks and feels different. You know, Alex, you said a few minutes ago, we don't have any underwriters. This is good news, bad news. Good news is we don't have any underwriters. Bad news is sometimes there's something that you'll say, well, we need to have this reviewed. That's not, we're all tech-based here. So a lot of things will fit and some things won't. So just keep that in mind. It's not the traditional loan process or platform. So that's pretty awesome for me, you know?
See, I love that, Tim, because again, we are in the business of helping people, and with this product, we can help a lot of people. Again, it's just something that is a really quick, easy application. Your borrowers are going to love it who are in the fit, and you just kind of go from there. And again, really leverage those inquiries. It's going to take out all the guesswork. That's what I like about it.
Okay, so let's recap. We did a quick example of a loan originator and a client, Alex being the client, and we showed you it only took a few minutes to find out what, if any, offers were available. Alex then did a deep dive, really focusing on a few best practices to learn how to navigate. A couple that come to mind, make sure you choose the address as it pops up in the dropdown. Make sure you're using annual income, not monthly income. What's going to happen next is once this recording is all done and buttoned up, I will be sending everyone that attended an email recapping this webinar and also inviting you to future webinars. And I can't stress this enough. This is going to be the place where you will want to just make it a normal part of your business every other Wednesday. Log on, attend, be prepared to ask some Q&A during the process. And we're here to help. Alex, I'm excited. Our first one's in the books. How do you feel?
It feels really, really good. And I'm excited
Right?
about the next one. This is
Yeah,
going to be a good time.
absolutely. So I will also, when I send the email with the recording, I will also include some of the documents that Alex shared with us today as a resource. And as well, I will include a link that if for some reason you're not sure if you're currently approved to use the Figure product, that you can link to request information on how to become approved with us. And if you're already approved, or maybe you have a different source for obtaining the technology, I'll certainly let you know that as well. But that's what everyone can expect as we wrap this up.
Perfect. Thank you all very much for attending today. Like Tim said, we will be sending out that after email, but we really appreciate you. The next session is going to be on the 17th, so look forward to that. We'll have registration links going out for that shortly, I believe. And then from there, every other Wednesday, like Tim said, you can meet us right here for more and more information.
Awesome. Thanks so much, everybody. Alex, thanks again. Great job. And we'll see you on the 17th.
See you all. Thank you very much.